send you the monies that we owe you. And then you complain that your budget is too high and stuff, you know. Give a kid a crayon that can figure this crap out, you know. And the adults in the room can't figure it out. It's like, but at least, you know, we talked about school.
Counselor. Thank you. The hour of 6 p.m. has arrived. I'm called to order this regular meeting of the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee. This meeting is being broadcast live on the City of Keene YouTube channel and channel 1302. The video is also streamed on the city's website and is posted on the website by the end of the next business day, barring any technical difficulties. Copies of the printed agenda are available in the wall pockets just as you enter the meeting room. The public and other city councilors will be recognized to ask questions and make comments on the agenda item under discussion. After being recognized, all remarks are to be made through the chair. I will not recognize an individual a second time until everyone who wishes has had a chance to speak. Anyone who wishes to address the committee is asked to go to one of the microphones in the room and identify themselves by name and address prior to speaking. Written comments from the public will be accepted at the city clerk's office until Tuesday at 1 p.m. The minute taker participates remotely. Committee members, please be sure to turn on your microphones when speaking. If the minute taker is unable to hear, they'll ask that you speak louder or turn on your microphone. We have a quorum, and we have a busy agenda. First item.
Good evening, committee members. Elizabeth Fox, Assistant City Manager, HR Director. I'm actually here with two items tonight. The first one is requesting you authorize the manager to accept a wellness grant in an amount from Health Trust, an amount up to $2,500. The city is very fortunate that we received these dollars to help implement wellness opportunities across the city. We have a group of wellness coordinators. I think the woman in the back room is one of them. She can probably talk about this more effectively than I. But they do activities with our workforce that focus on a variety of things to make us better people. The fire department was also fortunate this year and received a grant from Health Trust as well. They have a group that works on their activities independently, but we are very happy that we were able to get this support for their activities.
Thank you. Questions up here? Anybody in the public? Motion, please.
Move to recommend that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to accept the 2025 wellness grant from Health Trust of up to $2,500 to be used for employee wellness activities.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Further discussion, members of the committee? Seeing none, all in favor? No one's opposed, unanimously. You have the next one.
Great. The next item concerns renewal of the city's life insurance and long-term disability insurance. It provides employees. We are coming to the end of a 2-year cycle with our current vendor, Symetra, and the Richards Group, which serves as our broker for these products, did a RFP proposal and received 2 competitive responses from both Symetra and Mutual of Omaha. And given that we're satisfied with the current vendor and the prices were the same, we're recommending that you move forward with authorize the manager to move forward with renewal through Symetra. This will be another two-year agreement, which will give us some stability in the budget process for the next 2 cycles.
Thanks. Questions up here? Members of the public? Curiosity, is this available to retirees?
We are not able to offer this coverage to retirees. When people separate from the city, they have an opportunity to convert their policy to an individual policy on the life side, but the long-term disability is linked to their employment, so that's not an option. And once they've left, we can't They can't come back if they don't convert at the time of separation.
Okay, thanks. Motion?
Move to recommend that the City Council authorize the city manager to do all things necessary to execute a new multi-year contract renewing coverage with Symetra to administer the city's life and long-term disability insurance program.
Second.
Then moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? No one's opposed? Unanimous. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Costa?
Good evening. Aaron Costa, Assistant Public Works Director, here tonight to ask that the city manager be authorized to accept a source water protection grant from New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services for $12,800 to perform some surveying work around our well fields. So the Court Street and West Street well fields are a valuable source. We have 3 groundwater wells over at Court Street and 1 over at West Street. And they're a valuable water source for us and can produce approximately 2 million gallons a day of drinking water for the city of Keene. They're owned on they're located on city-owned property, but there are no property boundaries defined at Court Street. We did do some surveying work over at West Street in 2023 with source water protection grant funds. But the city doesn't own the 400-foot sanitary protective radius at either location. So we're going to use these funds to hire a qualified surveyor to perform a detailed property survey at both locations. And once that's complete, we'll have a better idea of where those property boundaries are and where that 400-foot sanitary radius is.
Thanks. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I noticed in the notes it was talking about pursuing the purchase of property or easements, which is definitely in line with 302.10. But it also mentioned installing fencing along the property borders to be in compliance. I didn't see that anywhere in 302.1. Is that just a procedure the city wants to do, or is it somewhere else in the 302 section that I might have just missed?
I don't recall off the top of my head what that regulation states, but it would be a best management practice to install fencing around that 400-foot sanitary protective radius.
Is there a specific rationale for that?
It's just to keep, property abutters and other activities from, occurring within that protective radius and just keep it in its natural state.
Anybody else up here? Ready for a motion? Okay.
Move to recommend that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to accept, execute, and expend the local source water protection grant from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services in the amount of $12,800.
Thank you.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Members of the committee? Seeing none, all in favor?
Thank you.
All opposed, unanimous. Thanks, Aaron. And our final item, appropriation to the fire department. You gonna-
Yeah,
Came
I'll
in
start.
just to
if
get
that's okay.
credit.
And the Chief and deputy can
There's your motion.
join me. So we've talked about this a few times now, but I just want to reiterate a couple of things. The call volume at the fire department has risen significantly from 5,025 calls in 2019 to over 6,300 calls in 2024. That's an increase of 1,275 calls. In the same period of time, we've had nearly doubling of overlapping calls. So, we're out with more than one piece of equipment at the same time. And these figures underscore the need to increase staffing capacity within the fire department. Tonight, we're asking the committee to support a resolution that would authorize the hiring of 4 additional firefighters, or 1 per shift. The resolution anticipates that these positions would be filled by the end of May. As such, the current appropriation request is just over $70,000 and covers 1 month of wages and the necessary gear and equipment to bring on these 4 firefighters. This would increase our staffing from 11 to 12 firefighters per shift. 12 is the minimum number required to operate a third ambulance. Last week, the council approved a resolution to increase overtime funding so that the chief could use existing staff to maintain this 12-person staffing level. At present, we are calling in 2 people per shift due to one new member on each shift. That 11th member is still in training mode. Once that individual is fully counted towards the minimum staffing, only 1 call-in per shift will be required unless there are additional absences, vacation, FMLA, or sick leave. Unfortunately, though, this week we learned that one of the 11th members of one of our shifts has resigned and is going back to the department he came from, so that puts us a little bit further behind on that shift. For fiscal '26, we anticipate an annual wage cost increase of approximately $529,000 to fully fund these 4 positions. This would be included in the base budget. In addition to the wages, there will be an increased operational expense for training and remaining equipment needs. In January, the City Council authorized applying for a SAFER grant to fund 4 firefighters per shift, 16 in total. If this request tonight is approved, or next Thursday night at council, we will reduce the SAFER grant request to 3 per shift for a total of 12. And in the narrative of the grant application, explain that a need was imminent and that we needed to immediately move forward with hiring of one of the 4 per shift. In the SAFER grant, if the SAFER grant is not available or we are not awarded a grant, we anticipate returning to the council in fiscal '26 with a request to again hire 1 additional firefighter per shift, bringing the total to 13. And the reason why that's important is maintaining a minimum staffing level of 12. You really should have more than 12 employees on that shift. Otherwise, you're always filling with overtime if somebody is out. And so it makes sense to move towards that direction to get to above the minimum of 12 and to be able to operate that third ambulance and reduce the amount of overtime that would be required to do that. And then with that, I want to pass it on to the chief and the deputy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jason Martin, Fire Chief. I just want to take a quick second and say on behalf of all the members of the fire department, we want to thank you and all the counselors for your support. The city managers worked very hard to find a way to staff the third ambulance, and our members immediately felt the relief. Her guidance and your support is felt greatly and appreciated by all our members. Thank you. And then I just want to also go on to say that the SAFER grant is still up in the air, but it's huge that our members feel your support, which they do, to do something now for their relief, because it is an unknown, but with the feeling that they're being appreciated and supported, they're gonna keep carrying the load and keep working extra and making things go. So with that, I'll turn it over to the deputy for some statistics.
Hello, Greg Seymour, Deputy Fire Chief. Sorry my voice is kind of going away kind of quickly here. I don't have a lot of facts for you. I've given you all of our background stuff before, but just a little bit from last calendar year to this calendar year where we're at now. At this point in 2024, we were at 1,638 calls for service, would put us at an average of 16 calls a day. And just to show you that these emergencies aren't waiting for us to fix our staffing problems, this calendar year, we're currently at 1,898 calls for service, which puts us at an average of 19 calls a day. And that does include a bit of a odd, slow period we've had in the last week or so, which has been very welcomed, but we're waiting for it to quickly end. And this year, last year we finished out at like 6,481 calls for service, and this year we're projected for over 7,200. So we're already seeing a significant increase from last year to this year, and we don't know when it'll plateau, but that's why adding the staff now is so important. So. And I think that's all I have for you now, other than just support city manager. We did lose one member to a resignation, but we're very fortunate to have a good pool of applicants. We'll be able to have a kind of a plug-and-play member after that to come in with some experience and hopefully kind of pick up wherever they left off and not leave much of a gap.
Thank you. Questions up here?
No, I'm just gonna go.
Well,
Oh, yeah, we gotta do public part first, yeah.
we have members of the public.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Hi. This is on? Okay. My name's Chris Coates. I'm a resident of Keene. I live at 30 Gilsum Street, also the county administrator for the city, for the county. And wanted to tonight come and speak in support of the recommendation of the city manager. You know, you look at New Hampshire as a whole, we're an aging state. We're like in the top 3. If you look at the 10 counties, we're in the top 2 in aging counties. That means that those runs aren't at the tip of the iceberg yet. They've got some ways to go, I would guess. The acuity that you're looking at is something that you all have to deal with. When I was on the council, I think we had 3,500 runs in a year. And I think we had about 9 individuals. You've doubled that just about. And so staffing needs have to be looked at. I believe that we need to grow to meet the city needs, but we also need to evolve to meet the city needs. So I think this is the right direction for the city. I appreciate adding funding that you have in the past for the overtime, but it's a Band-Aid on a bigger issue, and it also puts at risk burnout. We're here, Cheshire County's EMS service is here to support. I know that there's been, opinions put out there that maybe we should look at something differently, but we're here to support the city of Keene. We have the highest regard and highest respect for the men and women in the Keene Fire Department and the work they do every single day. Our job is to come into the city when there is a code 100, and to look to take the call. There's been 300 by, I think your numbers say it's been about 300 in 2024, and we were in the city 74 times answering calls for you. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is support you when you need us. We have a great working relationship between the Keene Fire Department and Cheshire County EMS. The 2 chiefs meet on a regular basis and talk about how we can do things together. If we're looking at, we just talked recently about the academy we're starting around education for EMTs, and is there more that we can be doing together on that? So we have, in my mind, the right formula to support each other in our communities. So I just wanted to make it clear that from our standpoint, and with what we're seeing in the county, because guess what? Your numbers are going up, our numbers are going up too. We have contractual agreements on some level with 19 communities in Cheshire County. But we touch every community in Cheshire County, every single one of them, whether it's through 911s, whether it's through interfacility transfers, or through the partnership we did with Smart Ride around wheelchair services in the community. But it's only successful when all of us are strong. Adding these players will make it even that much stronger, what we're trying to do here. So again, I want to echo just that this is the right thing to do. I'm a taxpayer too, but this is money well spent, so thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Rob Scrocky, President, Professional Firefighters of Keene. Just wanted to say all the members of Local 3265 wholeheartedly support this. We understand that the grant is a much easier way to absorb this staffing, but taking a big bite of it now and adding this 12th person is a really strong step in the means of recruitment and retention for us as we try to hire more people and get them trained up. So thank you for considering taking this big bite now and making this a permanent move, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
All right. Move to recommend the adoption of Resolution R 2025-11.
Second.
Yeah, I just came in for this one. Just snuck right in.
Nice.
there. Yeah.
Very nice of you. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? No one's opposed, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Wrap-up comments?
Yep, just a wrap-up comment. Some thanks. Thank you for your support this evening. Thank the department for working together to find solutions. And thank Chris Coates for coming in and giving his support. There was a recent editorial in the Sentinel that really was very inaccurate. We have been working together for a while now, and we had been discussing, how we might be able to creatively address some of these issues. And we are struggling with the same issues that they are in terms of meeting capacity of ambulance calls in the region. And so we're planning to do a joint statement, just sort of what we're struggling with and what we're working on. We are not working at our odds. We are collaborating, and I think that's very important, and so we do plan to set the record straight. So thank you for your support, and thank you all for your support as well.
I canceled my subscription over that one. Oh.
That's a statement. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, we're adjourned.